Hello students, my name is Askar Khan and in this video we will be studying about the distributive property of real numbers. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to use the distributive property to simplify expressions. So welcome to the lesson. What is the distributive property? Now, distributive property is a property of real numbers that is used to simplify expressions. Let's look at the distributive property first. A multiplied with B plus C. You can expand this. Actually, what you're doing over here is you're taking the term that is outside the brackets and you're multiplying with every term inside the bracket. You are basically distributing A with B and C. How do we do that? It's like this. A times B will be AB plus, then you take the A, multiply with C, so it will be AC. Okay, for example, 4 times 20 plus 6. How will you apply the distributive property for this? You take the 4 and you multiply with 20. Then you take the 4 and you multiply with 6. Let's see that. 4 times 20 plus then 4 times 6. So 4 times 20 is 80 plus 6 times 4, 24, and then you add them, it's going to get 104. So which is the same result had you added 20 with 6, that's 26, and you multiplied it with 4. So this helps in simplifying expressions. Let's look at the variations of this distributive property. B plus C times A. It's the same way. Take the A, multiply with B, it's going to become AB plus, then take the A, multiply with C, it's going to get AC. The same applies to subtraction. A times B minus C. How will you distribute it? A times B, that's going to be AB, minus A times C, and that's going to be AC. So we get the idea of what distributive property is and how to apply it. B minus C times A. Same idea. Take the A, multiply with B, it's going to be AB minus, take the A, multiply with C, it's going to be AC. So we can use distributive property in simplifying expressions. Let's work out some of the problems and see how to apply this property. Let's try this. What is the simplified form of each expression? 3 times x plus 8. So how will you distribute the 3? Apply the distributive property. 3 times x is 3x plus, then 3 times 8 is 24. Can you add these two terms? You cannot, because these are not like terms. You have a variable here and this is just a constant, so you cannot add them. So the simplified form of this is 3x plus 24. Let's try another. 5b minus 4, the whole thing is multiplied with negative 7. How would you go about doing? Apply the distributive property. Negative 7 is multiplied with 5b. What do you get? Negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. So this will be negative 35b. And then you multiply the negative 7 with negative 4, the minus 4. So negative times negative will become positive, and 7 times 4 is 28. So what's the answer? It's negative 35b plus 28. So let us see whether you got it or not. You can pause the video button and then try it out on your own and then check the answers. So let's go. Try this. What is the simplified form of each expression? 5 times x plus 7. So multiply the 5 with the x and then multiply the 5 with the 7. So 5 times x is 5x plus 7 times 5 is 35. That was pretty easy. Let's try another one. Okay, 12 times 3 minus 1 over 60. The property remains the same. 12 times 3 is 36 minus 12 times 1 over 60, and that is, let's write it down, 12 times 1 over 6t. Now, can I divide this 12 and 6? Yes, it's 6 one times and 6 two times. So we get 36 minus 2t. That is the answer. Great going. It does not matter whether you have the decimal, the property remains the same. Try this. 0.4 times 3 is going to be 1.2 plus 3 times 1.1c is 3.3c. That's the answer. Let's try another one. Okay, let's try this. Negative y times 2y. How much is it going to be? It's going to be negative 2y squared, because y times y is y squared. Then you have negative y times negative 1. What is it? Negative times negative, positive. 1 times y is y. So can you add them? You cannot, because this is y squared and this is only y. So they are not like terms, because like terms are those terms that have the same variable with the same power. Since the power over here is 2 and the power over here is 1, so you cannot add them. So they are not like terms. So this is how you apply the distributive property. So let's go ahead further. Let's try this, rewriting fraction expressions. How can you rewrite an expression that is a fraction in terms of sum and difference? What sum or difference is equivalent to 7x plus 2 over 5? So can I write the same thing as 1 over 5 times 7x plus 2? I can, because it's the same thing. So now I can apply the distributive property. 1 over 5 times 7x is 7x over 5 plus 1 over 5 times 2 is 2 over 5. That is the answer for this. I have written this fraction as a sum. Let's try few more examples. Let's try this. What sum or difference is equivalent to each expression? 4x minus 16 over 3. Can I write this as 1 over 3 times 4x minus 16? I can, because the 3 has been divided by 4x minus 16. It's divided with 4x minus 16. So now I apply the distributive property. 1 over 3 times 4x is 4x over 3 minus 1 over 3 times 16 is 16 over 3. So I have written it as a difference. Let's try another one. Okay, let's try this. can I write 11 plus 3x over 6 as 1 over 6 times 11 plus 3x? Now I can apply the distributive property. 1 over 6 multiplied with 11 is 11 over 6 plus 1 over 6 now will be multiplied with 3x. So let's write down that. So it's going to be 1 over 6 multiplied with 3x. But can I divide 3 and 6? Yes. 3 one times is 3 and 3 two times is 6. So now my new fraction is 11 over 6 plus 1 times 1x is x over 2. This is the sum of this fraction. Let's try another. Try this. 15 plus 6x over 12. Can I write this as 1 over 12 times 15 plus 6x? I can. Now apply the distributive property. 1 over 12 times 15. Let's write it down. It's 15 over 12 plus 1 over 12 times 6x. What's it going to be? It's going to be 6x over 12. Now, can we simplify this? We can. Which number can divide both these numbers, 15 and 12? 3. Great. So, 3 how many times is 15? 3 5 times is 15. 3 how many times is 12? 3 4 times is 12. So the new fraction over here is 5 over 4 plus, let's come over here. Which number can divide both 6 and 12? Of course, 2 can divide both, 3 can divide both, even 6 can divide both. So let's take the greatest one. So if we divide by 6, 6 1 times is 6, 6 2 times is 12. So my new fraction is 1x over 2. So it's x over 2. Let's try another. Okay, try this. 4 minus 2x over 8. Same way, can I write this as 1 over 8 times 4 minus 2x? I can. Apply the distributive property. So 1 over 8 times 4 is 4 over 8. Then minus 1 over 8 times 2x is 2x over 8. So let's simplify if we can. Which number can divide 4 and 8? The greatest number that can divide 4 and 8. It is 4. So we can use 4. 1 times is 4. 4 how many times? 2 times is 8. So the new fraction is 1 over 2 minus which number can divide 2 and 8? The greatest number that can divide 2 and 8 is 2. So we pick up 2. So 2 how many times is 2? 2 1 times is 2. 2 how many times is 8? 2 4 times is 8. So the new fraction is 1 times x is x over 4. So half minus x over 4 is the simplified expression of 4 minus 2x over 8. That's wonderful. Let's try a few more problems. Let's try this problem. It's a multiple choice problem using the multiplication property of -1. What is the simplified form of negative times 2y minus 3x? Now there is no number outside the parenthesis. So if there is no number given, we can write it down as 1 because this negative times 1 is negative 1. So let's rewrite this problem with negative 1. So how will our problem look like? It's going to be negative 1 times 2y minus 3x. It's going to be like this. Now we know how to use the distributive property. Negative 1 times 2y is negative 2y. And then negative 1 times negative 3x. What's it going to be? Negative times negative is positive. 3x times 1 is 3x. So it's negative 2y plus 3x. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer is C. So great. Let's try some of the got it problems. Try this. What is the simplified form of each expression? So there is no number given outside the parenthesis. We can safely assume it is 1. So we can rewrite the problem negative 1 times a plus 5. Multiply them. So we have negative 1 times a, which is negative a, plus negative 1 times positive 5 is negative times positive is negative. So we can write this as negative 5. So our final answer is going to be negative a minus 5. Let's try another. Negative times negative x plus 31. So let's open the brackets. Negative times negative x, positive x. Negative times positive 31 is negative 31. That's the answer. Let's try another. Negative times 4x minus 12. So negative times 4x is negative 4x. Then negative times negative 12, positive 12. That's the answer. Let's try another one. Okay, negative times 6m minus 9n. Use the distributive property. Negative times 6m, negative 6m. Negative times negative, positive 9n. That's the answer. Great going. Let's move on and try some application problems. Let's try to use a mental math over here. Daily sandwiches cost $4.95 each. What is the total cost of 8 sandwiches? Use mental math. So what will be the total cost of 8 sandwiches if each sandwich costs $4.95? So it's going to be 8 times 4.95. But I'm not allowed to use calculator over here, so I'm using mental math. So 4.95. Can I write this as 5 minus 0.05, which is still 4.95? And then I multiply it with this 8. I can now use distributive property. 8 times 5 is 40 minus 8 times 0.05. That's easy. 0.4. So 40 minus 0.4 is 39.6. So without using a calculator, you can use mental math to use by using distributive property and simplify the expressions. Great. Let's move on to another concept of terms. What is a coefficient? What is a term? What is a constant? Let's understand what do we mean by a term. A term is a number or a variable or a product of a number and one or more variables. A product of a number and a variable, or a product of a number and one or more variables. So that is a term now. It's a number or a variable or a product of a number and one or more variables. Now, what is a constant? A constant is a term that has no variables. For example, 8. It's a constant because it has no variables. 55. A constant. It has no variables. Now, what is a coefficient? A coefficient is a numerical factor of a term. For example, 8a squared. Is this a term? Yes, because we know that a term is a product of a number and a variable. Now, what is the numerical part of this term? 8. So, we say that 8 is the coefficient of a squared. Let's take another example. 5x. What is the coefficient of x? It's 5. Let's take another example. Negative 3 wz. What is the coefficient of wz? It's negative 3. So, do you understand what's a coefficient now? It's the numerical part of a term. So, we know what's a constant. We know what's a term. What are like terms? Terms which have the same variable with the same power. They are called like terms. To state it very formally, we can say like terms have the same variable factors. In other words, terms that have the same variable with the same power. For example, let's take 8x and 55x. Are they like terms? Yes, because they have the same variable x and with the same power to the variable. Are these like terms? 9x squared and negative 5x squared. Are they like terms? Yes, good, because they have the same variable with the same power. Let's try another one. 5xy and 6x squared y. Are they like terms? They are not like terms. Why? Because although the variables are the same, the powers on the variables are not the same, because it's x over here and it's x squared over here. Let's take another example. Negative 3xy squared and 5yz. Are they like terms? They are not like terms because the variables are not the same. So now, one important thing, once you are able to identify the like terms, is you can add or subtract only the like terms. Only the like terms can be added or subtracted. Unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. Remember this. With this idea, let's solve some of the problems. What is the simplified form of each expression? 8x squared plus 2x squared. First question, are they like terms? Yes, they are, because they have the same variable with the same power. So, can I add them? You can add them. So, 8 plus 2 is going to be 10. So, it's 10x squared. So, you will put the variable as it is, the variable factor. Remember, you will not add the powers. Let's try another one. Simplify. 5x minus 3 minus 3x plus 6y plus 4. So, let's first figure out the like terms. Do you have a like term for 5x? Yes, minus 3x. So, can I subtract it? So, 5x minus 3x is going to give me 2x. Is there a like term for 6y? We don't have any other like term for 6y. So, we will write it as it is, plus 6y. Now, are there any constant terms? Minus 3 plus 4. So, can I subtract them? Yes. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So plus 1. So that is my answer. 2x plus 6y plus 1. Great. Let's check whether you have got it or not. Let's try this. What is the simplified form of each expression? 3y minus y. Now when there's no coefficient, the coefficient is 1. Remember this. So are they like terms? They are like terms because they have the same variable with the same power. So 3y minus 1y is 2y. Very simple. Let's try another one. Minus 7m n to the power 4 minus 5m n to the power 4. Are they like terms? They are because they have the same variable with the same powers. So we can subtract them or add them. Minus 7 minus 5 is minus 12. So it's minus 12 m n to the power 4. Pretty easy. Let's try another one. Try this. 7y cubed z minus 6yz cubed plus y cubed z. Are there any like terms? So let's figure out. Is there a like term for 7y cubed z? Yes, y cubed z. Remember, when there's no coefficient written, it is 1. It's understood. So now since they are like terms, can I add them? 7y cubed z plus 1y cubed z is going to be 8y cubed z. Do we have any like term for this? We don't have. So we write it down as it is. Minus 6yz cubed. That is the answer. So that completes the lesson on distributive property of real numbers. We have learned how to apply them. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, Wisdom Outline, and click the like button and share this video with one and all. And if you want any math tutoring classes, either in person or online, you can contact me, and my number is given in the next slide. My name is Askar Khan, and I run a math channel, Wisdom Outlined, and I also have a self-help channel called Principles Outline. You can contact me at my WhatsApp number 00966 507 081702. Thank you for watching this video, and keep practicing, because your results will be in proportion to the efforts that you put in. And never, never, never give up. You have the potential to study math, keep practicing, and keep getting the feedback. Thank you very much. Do click the like button and subscribe to this channel and share this with one and all. Thank you.